Welcome to Friday Fuel.
What is up? What is up, you guys? We are back with another Friday Fuel, dude. That intro is something else, dude. We all are just sitting there bobbing our heads in the stream, just like
being crazy.
Dude, it's so much fun. But guys, we are so happy to be back here again. We got the whole crew back together. It's been the past 3 weeks. Someone hasn't been on the stream, but we're all back. We're fired back, up baby. And ready to go, guys. So we're pumped up. We got a very, very special guest today we'll bring on here soon. But just to start us off, Collin, I'll ask you, what was something that really stood out to your week that, you know, that was, I guess you could say, a win?
This week, I mean, first win is my son's healthy. He had surgery yesterday, just get his tonsils removed. So that's first win. God is good with that. But this last win, I had a huge networking opportunity with a Medicare carrier that is going to be pretty life-changing. So I'll have more details on it later. But it's just met somebody pretty important that's going to be really important for my business. So
solid, bro. Adam?
I mean, what good things aren't happening in my life right now?
Yes, sir.
But I mean, number one, just like being on the podcast with you guys, it's always a good start for my Friday. But yeah, I mean, same kind of deal. Both my kids are happy, healthy. We finally got our downstairs of our house cleaned. So it's nice to be and, you know, at least have it for a day or two before my kids wreck it again. And yeah, just business is rolling. I've got my Facebook ads running. If you missed last week's podcast, you definitely missed out on some good.
Absolutely. That was good.
That were dropped. But yeah, things are going great.
Nice, man. Well, solid. Donald, man, what's up?
I got 2 of them. And to tie into the banger of an episode we had last week, I took the advice of Mr. Alex Sala right here himself and went back and went to most of my clients and asked for referrals. Called them out of the blue. You know, of course, didn't just call them and say, hey, you got anybody that I can sell life insurance to? I asked them how they were doing, asked them about their policy, of course, checked up with them, and then bit the bullet, quit being anxious, and just asked the question. And now I have 4 appointments for next week off of all referrals.
Ew.
Yes, sir. And then also went back and asked some of my very good friends if any of them had life insurance, and I wrote a policy on one of my best friends and his girlfriend.
Nice.
Yep. Let's go, bro.
Like I said, just getting the anxiety out the way, saying, why am I not asking these people these questions and finding leads? Like I said, a free lead is the best lead. I'll tell you that right now.
That's the power of asking for a freaking referral, Donnie. Good job, bro.
Awesome,
dude. That's so. I think every agent here should legit call all your clients and ask for referrals.
Absolutely. I agree.
Dude, that statistic that I read the last Friday Fuel, 91% of customers say that they would give a referral and only 11% of agents ask for them. It's crazy. Just ask, right? And like for me, for my business this week, I've been working on perfecting my referral game because I know I can coach it really well. I continue to keep perfecting it. I'm trying to perfect it, right? And get better. Every home that I got into, when I the whole referral strategy, if you didn't hear it, go back to the last Friday Fuel and watch that, please.
Absolutely.
But every single home, guys, I literally I got into about 9 homes, and I got in 9 homes, and I had 6 clients bring out their contact book, and I got over 15 referrals in each one of those houses.
Wow. Dang,
dude.
Like, can you repeat that for everybody one more time? Like, dude, that's
so. And this is for anything. When you get in a home, and you have a client bring out the contact book, you're not coming out of there with that. You're getting there with at least 10 referrals minimum. They got people in that contact book. So that's what I did for 6 homes, and it was insane. All you have to do is ask and ask and ask. That's it. That's my win. I'm trying to get better at referrals. I think there's always somewhere to improve, right?
Yeah, Alex, you're not very good at referrals. You could probably
15 referrals, that's it.
But without further ado, very, very special guest today, guys. My dear friend, he's known me since I was 11, guys. He got in the insurance industry. What is it? 9, 10 years ago now. Dude is a beast.
A beast.
He's in the annuity game, life and health. Dude, he's all over the place. And the question really today is, how did he make $100,000 in a month? I want to know.
$100,000.
$100,000. I want to know. I know you guys want to know, and I know the audience wants to know, right? So without further ado, let's bring him on, Mr. Jeff Milburn. Let's
Hey,
go.
good morning, guys. Happy Friday.
How's it going, man?
Morning.
Great. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir, Jeff. We are pumped to have you, bro. You are a dear friend of mine. I love you, bro. I appreciate you getting on the podcast today, bro. I really do. But without further ado, we would love for you just to introduce yourself and a little bit about you and kind of how'd you jump into the industry.
Yeah, my name is Jeff Milburn. I live in Jinx, Oklahoma, which is basically South Tulsa. I've been in the insurance industry for a decade now. I've always really been a business owner. I started 2 landscaping companies from scratch. I ran those for 18 years, a little bit of break in between. But for a total of 18 years, I sold the last one in 14. Really wanted to get into something different than I was just tired of putting up with labor, man. Labor sucks in that industry.
Oh, yeah.
So wanted to do something working with people. I love visiting with people or talking to people. So I worked a sales job for maybe about 6 to 8 months. Did very well in this equipment sales position. But it wasn't my fit. I was missing something. So I put my resume out there and obviously came across a bunch of insurance companies that reached out to me, saw my resume. And, obviously I had some things on my resume that stood out for them looking at me. But and then I came on board with a company back in, it's now been over 10 years ago. Or 9 years ago, and started from scratch. I didn't know anything about the insurance industry. And then I just learned. I had a great mentor, had some people along the way that taught me. So that's how I kind of came in the industry. And then after that, it's just, I've grown, I've learned, I've had a good circle of people on my side to help me keep on pushing and growing. What I do outside of work, I love to travel. I play golf, like to work out. Those are kind of things that I like to do besides just work. So,
Dude, solid, bro. Dude, that's so good. Guys, I'm telling you, this podcast is going to be something else. So you guys got to make sure you get your notepad out because this dude's about to drop some bombs. But Jeff, the main question today, man, and you know it, we all know it, and the audience knows it if they've seen it. How did Jeff Milburn make $100,000 in a month?
Yeah, so I had a goal, and we all need to write our goals down. I write my goals down daily. I used to not write goals down, and I just would fly by the seat of my pants. But writing your goals down every single day, what you want to accomplish. And I wanted to hit $51,000 in 1 month. I set out a plan of attack of the 1st of June to go after that goal. Something flipped in my mind that changed in me that I was going to do everything in my power to hit that goal. Working late, coming into the office early, working on a Saturday, calling more people. I tried to do everything in my power to make that happen. Well, I had some things that happened that first week of June that I hit 51,000 in 1 week. 1 week. 1 week.
1 week.
1 week.
Most agents don't do that in a year.
Yeah, most agents don't do that in a year. And that came from a referral train that started in Compound after that. One gentleman that I went to see to talk about his Medicare, his wife had passed away and had an annuity that hadn't been rolled over from, about a month earlier that she passed. So I helped him. Then it turned into his son that I helped and wrote another annuity. Then it turned into a friend that I wrote a very large annuity. Then it turned into another gentleman that I wrote over 380,000 in another annuity, and it keeps on going. So that 51,000 for that week was a lot of referrals. Yes, it was a lot of life and annuities and different things, but the referrals started from one gentleman. And
And how did you get those referrals, Jeff? By doing what?
by asking. I mean, obviously,
Easy as that.
Yeah, like, we all talk about how do you get referrals, or, for referrals are complicated, but no, they're not. Like, you're having a general conversation with someone about their insurance and their umbrella. Like, I have a fact finder, a needs assessment that I follow to a T. I was taught from when I was a first agent, that's the most important thing. As I'm going down the fact finder, is I'm talking to them about, hey, I'm sure you have a friend that's on Medicare. I'm sure you have a friend that has investment vehicles that maybe that haven't been reviewed in a year. So the whole time I'm going down that, I'm bringing up these talks about asking. You just have to ask. And then when I get to the end of the fact finder, I really go, hey, Larry, we were talking about, your friend that was on this live plan, but do you mind provide me a name and phone number that I can visit with him? I'm also, as I was taught earlier in the year about when you're signing up someone on a life insurance plan, you've got the beneficiaries, get their name and phone number right there and call the beneficiary.
Yep.
That's for 2, 3, 4 referrals right there that you can call and say, hey, I saw your mom and dad up on some life insurance yesterday. Want to introduce myself. Here's my business card. If something happens to your mom and dad, please give me a call. And then talk to them about theirs. So those referrals that compounded for that month, that first week, my mentor told me, and Ollie and some other people, Jeff, don't stop. Keep your foot on the gas. You don't know what your month is going to look like. So I just kept going. I kept running appointments, and I just kept pushing. By the end of June, it hit 100K.
Wow.
And that's the power of one dang referral that pushed the level for that week of June, now compounding into the rest of the month.
Wow. And that's so hard to wrap my mind around. 100K, and not only 100K in a month, but 51K in a week is insane.
Yeah.
And the question I want to ask is, where does the motivation come from? What switched in your brain to make you say, I'm going to go after this? And to go back to Tony's comment earlier, why 51,000 was your initial goal?
Yeah, I mean, the first of all thing in my mind is something flipped that maybe I could be better, or maybe I wasn't giving my all into something. And so, like I just told myself, in determination and grit inside me, which I've always had from a young kid, my mom, my grandpa, and my dad taught me how to work, and you have to go to work. I'll repeat this 3 times. You have to go to work. You have to go to work. You can't be lazy. You can't say, oh, I'm going to leave the office and go, to the store to pick up something or whatever it is. You have to be consistent. You have to have a schedule routine that you have, and you have to follow that. If you really want to hit your goal. Some people are fine with just, getting by and making $50,000 in a year. And that's cool. That's fine. We all have different things that we want to achieve. It's just, I've got some lofty things that, that I want to achieve in a goal. So that's what flipped in me for the goal, is the grit and determination was going after that goal, no matter what was in my way. It was like I put my back up against a wall and I said, hey man, you can't go anywhere. This wall's here. So you might as well go to work. That's kind of how I looked at it. Yeah, man, there's some tired nights, man. Just like, man, I need to go home. I need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
But really, when you want something, it's like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan, those guys I follow all the time. When you really, really want something, you're going to do everything in practice over again. You're going to show up before the other person. You're going to go to the gym at 4:30 in the morning. You're going to do everything to hit that goal that you want to achieve.
I think that's so interesting. The fact that you brought that to Kobe, because the way I tied into is Michael Jordan, The Last Dance, and then what we have going on at Colorado right now is making the little things personal, so that it's extra motivation to keep you going when you're having those hard days and those tired nights.
Yeah, I agree. The 51,000, I think I said 50, and then I was like, hey man, let's just tack on another 1,000.
And then another 49.
Yeah, another 49. Well, yeah, let's just tack on another 49 after that. I can't express how much the referral will change your life, man. I mean, it really will. Like as a new agent, someone coming in the business, or even someone veteran that's been in the business, one referral can change your whole aspect of your year. I mean, I still have these people that in a couple different areas of referrals I'm still working, but now it's like, even appointments that I go to now or do a Zoom or whatever, I'm still constantly asking about referrals. And the thing is, I want to help people out. That's the simple thing, is I want to help people out. Want families to be protected. I want people their money to be safe because they've worked their whole life for. That's my why. I want to do it to help people.
That's awesome. Jeff, I think something that could help a lot of people, I know I struggle with this sometimes, but when you're in that situation where, you're saying just go to work, right? And you put your back up against that wall, I think a lot of people will struggle with, they'll even put it on their calendar and say, okay, I'm going to dial from this time to this time. I'm going to be in the field from this time to this time. Absolutely. But then they just have a hard time executing that or following that plan. Yeah. How did you keep yourself in that and keep yourself accountable to those goals that you had set?
Great question.
Yeah, man, good question. I don't know. There's things that I just wanted out of that, and I just told myself, hey, I've got to call more people. I've got to go see another person. I know that's easier said than done, but you have to tell yourself in your mind, it's all in your mind. It's not in your body or that, it's in your mind. You can tell your mind one thing versus another, and it's going to change. So I think that, something in my mind just told me that I had to do some more things on that routine to make it happen. I know that's not maybe the best answer of what you're talking about, Adam, but obviously it's just in my mind, I told myself that's what I have to do. And I wasn't going to give an excuse for it. I wasn't going to complain about it. I wasn't going to go home and, have a pity party because I'm tired. I think attitude is huge for an individual. If you don't have a great attitude, and it's hard. I've really, really worked on this year compared to last year about attitude. I don't try to complain about anything.
Yep.
And that is very hard. Like you can be cut off in traffic, or your food comes out cold at a restaurant or whatever it is. And then we get irritated or we complain. What's that going to really do in reality? I think having a good attitude no matter what all the time. But it's tough. You have to work on it. And I've worked on it, man.
Yeah. I know a lot of times it's not even like something that we consciously do, right?
Right.
I know for me, when I'm driving and somebody does something stupid, like I don't hold back. My wife gets so mad at me for the comments that I make in the car.
Right.
But it's just like, you're right. It's a conscious effort that you always have to make to get progress, because it's not just something that's going to happen by telling yourself one time, oh, I'll just be positive.
Well, you know, and that is one of I'm gonna have to plug in a battery here. But what I was gonna say is about complaining, like me and my mentor Ollie have been talking about people that complain. We can all complain about leads or you know, hey, this lead stinks, or we got a bad vendor. I hear this all the time, and it has started to make me think, well, what is the individual doing? And so I was even talking to Cody Askins. You all know Cody Askins. I've talked to him about this and about complaining about the lead. Why are you complaining about the lead? I think it's in your mind that you're not triple dialing them 9 times out of the day. You're not following up with them. You're not emailing them. You're not door knocking. You're not texting them. You're not getting in a routine about that dang lead that is beating you up in the head. Yeah, we're not going to win all the leads. We're not. They're not all going to fall in our lap. But it's just like yesterday. You know, I door knocked a lead that I've been trying to get a hold of this lady forever. And I had a brand new agent with me. Lady opened her garage door. I sat in the garage on a old chair and wrote a $37,000 inherited IRA into an annuity. And then got a trust
off a door knock.
On a door knock. Then I got a trust appointment set up with her. Her PPO is probably going to get changed in October by me. Off of a door knock, off of a lead that was bought, door knock, sale, annuity.
Wow.
I mean, that right there is, you know.
I think, dude, Jeff, that's so good, bro. It's amazing.
It's
Collin,
great.
I'll let you budge in here in a second. Could we, Jeff, we have a question here for you. Can you please talk a little bit about the description of the clients that we're sitting down with, line of work and product?
Repeat that, I'm sorry.
So we have a question, as you see on the bottom of the screen. It says, can you just please talk a little bit about the description of these clients and then the line of work and product?
Okay, so yeah, the description of the clients, obviously, you know, I meet a lot of my clients are ranch or they live in the country. You know, that's a lot of my clients. I do
so like 65 and over. 65 and over.
65 and over. A lot of them are in their 70s. I do help out with retirement planning, which, you know, is someone that's retiring from work either at a young age or right at 65. I've really navigated into doing a lot of that and talking about retirement planning. But a lot of those referrals of that big June were a lot of people that lived in the country and they're in a ranch community. You know, that's what's happened to that. I'd help out in life. You know, I help out in the annuity space big way, obviously this year. But that's kind of how my business is navigated from Medicare all the way out to more retirement planning in the annuity business.
And to go a little bit further on that question, I think what they're kind of asking is how important is it to cross sell just so you can have the opportunity to sell an annuity, to sell a life, to sell a Medicare?
Yeah, you know, cross selling is huge. You know, obviously, if you got someone that you're working with on Medicare or you know, a PPO plan, man, you know, you need to make sure their hospital's protected. Maybe a gap in a cancer plan. I mean, we have arsenals in our resources, home health care. You know, I could tell story after story of the amount of savings and protection that I've helped individuals out in their Medicare plans. You know, obviously my mom, you know, my dad bought a policy from me over 3 or 4 years ago that, you know, protected my dad over thousands and thousands of dollars that he would have had to pay for a licensed nurse or a facility that would have been for her to go to. Obviously, that policy, the claim paid out. For 2 months, he had a licensed nurse living in his home.
Wow.
You know, and so the cross-selling of that type of stuff, protect them in their Medicare plans is huge. You know, the life insurance and annuity, you've just got to find out what their goals they're trying to accomplish. That is it. If you start trying to sell them an annuity or a vehicle, it's not going to work, man. You've got to figure out what their goals, what they're trying to accomplish. If they're trying to pass it on to their family for legacy, if they need income, they want long-term care, play out on their investment vehicle. There's a lot of things that you have to go into that you have to talk before you're going to talk to them about an annuity.
Yeah, I think, Jeff, you hopefully everybody listened to that last part, because a lot of times we feel like we have this sales process that we have to stick to, and
Absolutely.
sometimes we have to be salesy. What I've learned in my short time being alive is the more, like what Joe said, be interested, not interesting. So you have to ask the right questions. You have to dig into that why. And then the sale will come so easy if you ask the right questions and you just go right there along with them, find out their goals. All you have to do is find out what product fits their goals. And it's going to be, it's not even a sale. It's just, okay, they're going to be asking, where do I sign? So,
and I'll throw this in real quick, is when I find out what their goal is they're wanting to achieve. And if they say, if I can see they're losing money, I say, how would you feel if I could stop the bleeding for you and your family could be protected and you wouldn't lose any more money? And I shut up. I don't say another word. And I look them dead in the eye. This is another thing I'll say when I do this. I look in their eye, trying to look at their back of their head. And I do this for every single appointment I do. I don't move my eyes. I don't look up and down. I look, and because I'm building so much trust with them, that they're building trust with me. And, after I asked them that question, sure, Jeff, I would love to stop the bleeding. I don't want to lose any more money. And then I know that I'm, we're moving in a great way. We're moving forward and maybe making their protection better. But I see so many agents look over, and you have to get comfortable. You really do. You have to get comfortable in your own and confident in what you do. And it takes time. It took me time when I was first in the first year that I was in the industry. I was always like on my knees and like looking down, writing down. But you have to get that in your brain, and you have to be confident, and you have to be confident in who you're talking to. But you have to build that trust up. I don't care who the individual is. If they have $5 in their pocket or they have millions, you have to build that trust up with them. But that's one thing that I think has changed for me, is looking them dead in the eye and not moving. I had the agent yesterday, and he was like, Jeff, you didn't move from there. You didn't even look at me. No, I didn't. And the guy, and we didn't sell anything with that guy. But I will tell you, he's going to be calling back, because the amount of savings that we were going to save on his Medicare, and then he's got a large amount of money that he's been looking around thinking what he's going to do. So I put a little seed in him, and now he's got some trust built up with me, and he can see that I care, that I'm trying to save a huge amount of money on his Medicare for him.
And that's great.
Yeah.
And we talked a lot about during that month that you're, of course, breaking these goals and getting to the 100,000. But what I want to talk about now is, what did the day after or the week after look for you? Because I know a lot of us can go on these crazy, crazy highs, and then it's almost like having a hangover where you're like, man, I'm beat. I don't want to get my dials in. Look what I did last month. I got it covered for this month. How do you not fall into that trap and keep on going and keep setting those goals higher and higher and higher?
That's a great question.
Yeah, man. I mean, obviously I had to get back to work the fall into July, we had the holiday come up. I had to get back to work. I had a lot of paperwork to do with a lot of that annuity business and referrals that I had talked to. I mean, I didn't have time to stop. I didn't have time to go sit down. I didn't have time to take a break. What was my break? I did all this work. I got more work to do. And so, I want to rinse and repeat. Like, repeat what I already did. You know, and moving forward, you know, going forward for the rest of the year. I don't know what my year is going to end, but I think every agent could say, "Oh man, I made $51,000 in 1 week. I'm done. I'm done for the year. I'm gonna throw in the towel." And you know,
it would have been hard for me to say that I'm not done. I'll be honest with you. After a 51K week.
But Donnie, I think that's the mind of it is like,
Yep.
hey, I made all this money.
Yeah.
I can go relax and not do anything.
Yep.
But in reality, what if you told your mind, oh man, I had a great month. I gotta get all these things together, and then let's repeat it the next week. What if you hit another $100,000 the next month? Now you had hit 200,000 in 2 months.
You're looking at a pace of 7 figures right there.
Right. And I don't mean, I'm very, very humble. Alex has got to know this me, and I pour my heart into, you know, whoever I meet. But, you know, I set out a goal, and I've hit 100K in every year that I've done in a yearly amount. The first year I didn't because I was a new agent and I was learning, but it was around, I don't know, 48 or 50. Every year after that, been a 100K earner. This year has changed. This year has changed.
I would say so.
Because of this, you know, I think, and Jeff's got some big tax issues coming down the road now, but
yeah, he does.
You know,
Uncle Sam's a big fan of Jeff right now.
Well, yeah, you know, and hey, I'll say this, and whoever wants to get into the annuity business, I'm always open to them asking questions or advice. But man, I was talking to Alex the other day, and man, it's just I keep running into it. It's out there. I mean, I'm talking like whoever you go see, somebody has some money.
Yep.
Are they protecting it? Are they using it? Are they not happy with their agent they're working with? Or are they losing money? And most people right now are losing money.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's some gains, but they're losing money. But you know, your question, yeah, like why did I just not, you know, stop for the month? I had more work to do.
Got more work to do. Ooh.
I have bigger goals that I want to achieve. I think that's the big thing. I have bigger goals that I want to achieve. Just because I did something.
Oh, go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
Repeat. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I think a lot of times what, you know, you're nailing it on the head is that there's that momentum. A lot of agents, they catch, you know, they have a big week or, you know, their best month. And then a lot of people take their foot off the gas when that's really the best time to keep going. Because if you lose that momentum, it's so much harder to restart and have another big month. If you can just keep going and, you know, that water line's raised now, you just got to ride that momentum.
Yeah, I agree with you, Collin, 100%. The momentum right now and the consistency, you know, is just, dude, it's on fire, man. And I was telling Cody the other day, and I'll throw this little nugget in there too, is about vision. My vision is since 8% is so bright. I told Cody the other day, I keep looking and it's like I'm looking into bright light. I mean, it's crazy, man. Like, you know, I'm very blessed. I thank God for everything that's been provided for me. But the vision right now is it's so strong. Like I keep looking and I keep like, okay, let's finish this goal. We're going out to another goal. You know, I told Ollie the other day, and you guys are going to be like, what the heck? I told him I want to hit 3 million in annuity business by the end of the year.
What the heck?
That's not commission. That's not commission. That's just writing 3 more million by the end of the year. That's
what some agencies are doing as a company and not as an individual. That's right. That's a vision. That's a vision right there.
That's a vision. That would put me over way over 5 million for the year in annuity business, you know. Next year, go ahead.
No, it's crazy, bro. Like, it's crazy the numbers that you're doing. Like, you guys got to make sure you get in contact with Jeff. Like,
ask him questions.
dude, it's funny, Jeff. It's funny to backtrack back when in June, right? When me and you both had our goal, right? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have my best month, right? We both had the goal that we had set on. I was like, okay, I'm gonna write at least 50,000 in the month of June, right? And your goal was obviously that 51,000. Was it 51,000 for the month?
Yeah, 51 for the month.
That's really why it was 51, because he wanted to.
He just wanted to
He wanted to, as the whole audience knows now. That's why Jeff put 51.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, whatever. So I ended up achieving it. Amazing, right? I didn't know I could do it, whatever. But this dude does it in the first week, and I'm like, dude, shut up. I'm like, dude, there's no way. Like, I had one of my best weeks, right? One of my best, which was amazing. But this dude does 51, and I'm like, bro, come on, dude. Like, why are you doing this to me? And then at the end of the month, he doubles what I did. I'm like, dude, you're at $100,000, bro. Like, what? Yeah. It's funny, Jeff, because correct me if I'm wrong here, right? Kind of backtracking to where, in a way, correct me if I'm wrong, but like when you had that mindset shift, right? I think it was because you were so comfortable where you were at, right? With your business, where your money was at, where your finances were at. And you were so comfortable, like, dude, I'm not going anywhere, right? And it's like, I got to go somewhere. Is that kind of how it was? Like you said, your back was against the wall, but like you were just so comfortable to the point where like, I got to go see somewhere. Like, I can't be where I'm at.
Yeah, I think that's 100% right. Like, I was comfortable in what I was doing. Maybe I wasn't pushing myself or applying myself in a bigger way. I think Alex, you're 100% right. And then like something in my mind flipped that maybe I need to go see some more people. Then I could have gone to see some more people that could have turned into what just happened. I think that I was taught by this, and I'll say this to every agent: set 15 appointments and run 10.
Yep.
Every single week.
For infield.
Yeah, for
correct?
infield. For infield. I'm sorry. For infield, if you're an infield agent, set 15 and run 10.
Because remote can be running like 25, 30. Like,
well, yeah, like, yeah, 100%.
I mean, Adam would know, but.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. If you're doing a phone sale, whatever, you should be doing over 20, 30, 40. I tell people, that you need to be doing 300 calls a day or more.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to have success, I'm trying to get a hold of people.
Alex, I got 15 appointments today, bro.
There you go. There you go.
Flexing on us, bro.
And to piggyback off of what Alex just said, I think there's some really good lessons in there. And first one is healthy competition between partners, between coworkers, I think brings the best out of both people. And then on the flip side of that, I think it would have been really easy for Alex to have seen that you did that 50 in the first week and been like, oh, I'm going to give up on my goal. There's no reason for me to compete anymore, when he still went out and got that 50K at the end of the month and hit his goal. And I think those are the two important lessons. First is healthy competition, and then not letting healthy competition ruin your day if you're not winning.
That's so good.
Yeah, 100%. And we talked about it last night. We had a little team meeting, and we told if anyone wants to be a part of this team, it's holding each other accountable.
Yep.
We had a little, and some people are probably not going to do it, and that's okay. If you don't want to be held accountable, cool. If you do, then you got some people on your side that are going to hold you accountable, and what do you want to accomplish? Let's write them down, and let's go after them.
That's so good, bro. Like,
I don't know, man. My life has changed in such a dramatic way. I don't know, man. I look back. God is one thing, but I look back on my grandpa that obviously he worked a full-time job. His wife was a real estate agent. This was back in the 80s. And his daughter, my mom was the only child, but he had a side business. His wife would take the phone calls of the business transactions that would come in. He would leave work come home at noon to take the phone calls of the business people, go back to work, come home after work, go upstairs to his office and start to work on the business. He had one other partner, and man, they grew the operation up. And you know, he did very well. I'll say that. You know, they had some type of piping business that they did overseas transactions that they started, and my grandpa didn't really get to experience retirement. He got cancer and died at a young age. But obviously, you can see how the hard work that gentleman put in. He worked a full-time job, came home at lunch hour to take phone calls, went back to work, came home after work, went upstairs and went to work. I mean, that's what I learned. You know, he obviously put his back up against the wall and wanted to achieve some things that for his family. And obviously the legacy went on. You know, it went on to my mom.
And then on to you. And I think that's
Right.
so important. I think especially as, you know, the four of us group guys, as young guys, we kind of get lost in the fact that the hard work we put in now will not only just pay off later on in our lives, but down our lineage, man. I mean, you just heard it. The work that your grandfather put in has now motivated his grandson to go on and do bigger and better things. And I know as a young person, or I mean, even sure as an older person, you can kind of lose sight of that. And that compound interest over the generations, over the years is so important. And getting it done now, getting it started now will pay off so much more in the future, obviously.
100%. And also, Donnie, I think is find out inside whoever it is, and find out inside of you what's your why.
Yep.
That's something right there. Find out inside what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, what you want for, you know, if you're married or your child, or, you know, what you want. We all have something inside that makes us tick, and what we want to do. I mean, I think the biggest thing for me right now is just helping people, man. I want their family to be protected. We have so many people out there that don't understand stuff they see on TV, or, you know, different things, or they got someone that they don't trust, or their money's losing, you know, and they don't have any more money. I had a lady who had a Walmart, I don't know, it was a couple of weeks ago. Before we moved her money, she lost $5,000 in one day, you know, off of a Walmart, you know, deal. And, you know, luckily we got it moved like the next day, and it came back up before the check was cut. And, but she lost $2,000 before we could get it moved. So, I mean, that's my why, helping people.
And quickly, you know, we've discussed a lot of this month of your month, 100,000 month, and given everybody some really, really good tips and things to fall back on. Real quickly, what is one thing that an agent watching right now can put into practice today to get the results and put themselves on the path for 100K a month? One thing.
I think that they have to get referrals.
Yep.
I mean,
just ask
over and over and over again. If you're doing an in-face appointment, you better be talking about those referrals or who they know through that fact finder all the way until the end. If you're doing a face-to-face or a telesale over the phone, you got their beneficiary. Ask. All they're going to do is say no, or, you know, I don't know anyone. Well, hey, Miss Jones, I'm sure you have someone on that cell phone, you know. I see a number right there, a name. Who's that?
Exactly.
You know, or, hey, I know you go to church. I'm sure you associate with some people at church in your group. And they're going to say, hey, I don't really get into that with my friends or whoever. I don't talk about insurance. Hey, I get that, Miss Jones. I hear that all the time from the people that I visit with. But what if I change their life or their protection by me calling and visiting with them?
That's solid.
I mean, you know, that right there, the power of a referral, you don't have to spend, you know, yeah, I spend stuff on leads and different things, but you don't have to spend any money. You know,
and a free lead is the best lead.
Right.
And, and quickly, Jeff, can you shout out all your socials where people can reach you, ask questions, and all that kind of good stuff? We want to make sure we got you out there for everybody.
Yeah, so I'm all over social media platform right now. You know, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all over the place. So my phone number is 918-605-6390. You also can reach me by email at jeff@theinvestedamerican.com. But yeah, I'd be glad to visit with you just for questions, advice. If you don't understand a product, you know, I'd be glad to, you know, just talk. You know, even to you guys, I love all you guys. I know I started out in the industry just kind of like you guys did. If you want to ask me advice, if you're trying to get into the annuity space, man, I mean, I'd be glad to do a Zoom with you guys. You know, so yeah.
Jeff, Joe's got you can buy your Mr. Clean products right here. Adam and Collin, did you guys have anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah,
I just appreciate you, Jeff.
We appreciate you.
Hey man, I appreciate you guys. You know, thank you for being on the show. I'd like to be on another show again.
Yes, sir.
You know, so what's that?
I think Adam, did you have one more thing, Adam?
No, I was just gonna say the same. You know, thank you for that. You know, all the knowledge that you dropped today, and you know, we know some people that could probably get you back on the podcast. So, you know, look forward to that.
Sounds good, man. You guys keep doing you, and keep growing your business. You got to put in the work, man.
Yep.
And start asking for more referrals. That's what. And Alex this week has had a crushing week on referrals, but just ask. You know, I'll show this little bit of other thing real quick.
Yeah.
If you go to a restaurant, you can get a referral there too, or you can get a referral at the grocery store. I was on a trip, and I'll shut my mouth here in just a second. I was on a trip 4 weeks ago in Mexico, and I was at the pool, and there's an older man just talking to me. I got a referral off of that man in Mexico, and he lives in Missouri. I got another referral off of another guy that lives in, I can't remember the state he lives in, but just talking to him just as a casual conversation. On
vacation, might I add.
On vacation.
Jeff, I had one more thing for you, and we'll wrap this whole thing up. If you could leave, there's a lot of, you know, there will be a lot of people watching the stream. If you could leave one piece of motivation for them, advice/motivation, whatever it is, for them to excel in their business, because their back could be up against the wall, just like what yours was, right? Like back before June, right? What's something that you could leave with them?
Motivation wise, I would find that determination inside you and give it your all. You know, do everything you can to proceed. Find a great mentor. That's another one. Find a great mentor that if you don't have someone that you to chat with, or you're an agent and you don't know, find a mentor, man. That's a big one. Because your mentor is going to help you, you know, talk about the goals that you're wanting to achieve. I think that's a big one right there, Alex.
I think you're spot on, bro. Yeah, mentor is so important, as all of us know and the audience knows that, dude, you got to have a good mentor, because if you really need to have a mentor, right? And Nate has said this before in P4, you got to have a mentor that has what you want to have, right? So you can go copy what they got, right? And I think that's spot on what you said too, Jeff. So without further ado, I mean, Jeff, we appreciate, you know, you coming on the show, bro. You dropped some freaking nuggets today. We sure do appreciate you. And then we will see you guys next week on Friday, Fuel at 9 a.m. Central Time. So you guys be sure to tune in, and we thank you guys so much for today.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a good week.